for Food Wars, with mentions of Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and plot points from One Piece and Berserk.
Time to put the Food Wars in Food Wars. Now we know that Soma can beat other shonen characters through the submission of his food, as he could probably get Luffy and Goku to submit through their appetites. But there's also another ability that has the potential to also be breaking in the Food Wars world, and in other shonen worlds. That is obviously booming or endowment as it is known. Well, in the show, the Nakiri family are the only family to hold this trait, in which when the user consumes food of such a delicious taste, their clothes are forced off them and they disrobe. However, if the food is strong enough, it can cause a ripple effect that causes anyone in the vicinity to disrobe as well. Even in some cases, the clothes ripping and tearing off the body. This is known as gifting or divine endowment. This ability, if used correctly, and depending on the definition of disrobe, can change the course of a fight. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you drop Arena Nakiri, the strongest user of the ability, onto the enemy. Then have her eat a dish which can activate the gifting, and just like that, everyone in a certain radius is disrobed of bulletproof armor or tactical gear, putting the other side in a massive advantage and leave the enemy naked. But how is this strong in other shonen worlds? Well, it really depends on what disrobe means again, but assuming you can disrobe things like armor, then it's strong. For instance, in One Piece, this ability can completely counter Kyomen's Devil Fruit, the Fuku Fuku no Mi, aka the Clothes Fruit, which he can create clothes and armor for a short period of time. With the gifting, this ability is completely countered. Even in Naruto, it can completely disrobe someone's shinobi battle armor, or in Dragon Ball, it can completely disrobe the same battle armor. However, it could also be used to help your allies, such as, again back to One Piece, it could release someone in Sea Prism Stone handcuffs. Also, when Luffy is in the Wano labor camp and he has a bomb collar strapped to him, this ability could take it off without activating the bomb. However, take this with a pinch of salt because we're assuming this falls under disrobing. But then again, even in Berserk, when Guts is wearing and lost in the Berserker's armor, this could instantly snap him out of it and save him. However, even with all these different ways to use the ability, there's still more usage, not only with the gifting, but with another ability. To answer the question why Arena is the strongest user out of the Nakiri family, well, because she can do something the others can't, called New Endowment. This increases the range of the gifting, but it can also disrobe walls of a building, effectively just exploding the wall. What this means is not only the ability can evolve over generations, but that disrobing is a very loose and vague term, which could be expanded on in generations to make it even more powerful. And even if not, exploding an entire wall is extremely strong in its own. So yeah, the booming, the gifting, divine endowment, or whatever you want to call it, is deceivingly strong in a variety of situations. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and at the end of the day, it's just forcing someone to strip.
This is not an endorsement, but warning. Please get someone's consent before stripping them.